Now, when the locals and every other person discovered that the thief have become vulnerable, they then started seeking to execute their whims and caprices. The Jukun now felt bold enough to fight the thief, to deplete their numbers in Taraba State, especially in the territories that they dwelt, like Kukari, Takum, Donga, Ibi. These places had small, small rivers for fishing, and especially Ibi. And they didn't want the thief to be involved in fishing business with them because the Jukun are predominantly fishers. But on the other hand, the thief also produced yams, beans, granules, and such other food items that were edible that you could combine with their fishing to make a balanced diet. And as a result of that, they somehow found a way to tolerate the thief after some time. But unfortunately, that tolerance wouldn't last. The truth is, each time the thief people multiplied in Taraba and raised farms and made very large farms, the Jukun and the Fulanis considered that it is best to push these people out so that we can inherit their farms. I'm a victim myself. I lost way over 5 million investment in yams and granules in Taraba State. Money I was supposed to use for my law school. I used it to, because it wasn't enough though. So I used it to start up this small agricultural business. I invested in large quantity. And swoop, the Jukun and the Fulani arose and chased us out of Taraba State. My father lost way over 24 million worth of farm produce in that same Okari. We were reduced to nothing because what we knew when we were coming up was farm work. And we all invested in it. My only uncle in life was killed there. He joined the thief militia that tried to resist the attack, but they were overpowered. And my uncle was killed brutally. I buried him, and now I don't have any uncle. Right? So, these attacks have been happening for years. In 1991, there was one. But the most recent one, which I want us all to go to, is the one that happened in October 2001. The Jukun started this push away from Taraba, where they drive the chief people out and inherit their farms. In 2001, their prices were coming like every 10 years, 1990, 2001, 2020, 2019, 2021, in that sequence. It's like they leave it for almost 10 years. When the thief have forgotten that, okay, there's now peace, they go back to make their farms, they return to their places in Taraba, they settle, then they, after like 10 years of farming, they drive them out again and take over. Now, in 2001, the Jukun started the drive again, the bullying again. Unfortunately, T.Y. Danjuma, which is why I was surprised that he was making such comments as he was making now. But of course, when it comes to Taraba State, he's always available to protect. So I'm not too surprised. T.Y. Danjuma was then the Minister of Defense under Obasanjo's rule in 2001. The Jukun started this bullying of the thief, knowing that the thief people have surrendered their powers to religion. Until White Danjuma was there on the seat, watching the Jukun, whom he has affiliations with. Even though even he himself grew up partly in Benue State, where he did his secondary education at Katinala, right? But he has this affinity with the Jukuns that makes him sympathetic to their cause. The Jukun started fighting the thieves in Taraba. The thief ran out of Taraba because since the thief people surrendered their powers to religion, all they've been doing is running. They no longer stay back to fight. When any attack comes on the thief people, they run and pack out of that territory completely. Now, the thieves were killed out of Taraba in numbers. They ran to Benue. That 2001, the Jukun suddenly got military wares from places one could not explain. Their militia were wearing military wares. One couldn't tell the difference between a soldier and a Jukun man, because even the soldiers that were sent for peacekeeping in that territory turned to Jukun, and the Jukun too turned to the military. And so attacks were made on thief people in Beji, in Zakibem, in Kado, in Afia, and other territories around. Somehow, a story came up that the thief people have killed about 19 soldiers in that 2001, and that the dead bodies were found near Zakibia, a place in Benue. Now, Obasanjo arranged the national burial for these 19 soldiers. They were driven to Abuja, or so it was claimed. I was a boy on the street watching this. Till today, we do not know the names of those 19 soldiers. We do not know their ranks. We do not know which barracks they came from. We do not know which states they came from. But it was claimed that 19 soldiers were killed near Zakibiam. And friends, Zakibiam was reduced to a complete rumble. Over 139 persons were killed in one day in Beji. Over 100 and something persons were killed in Kado. In Zakibiam, over 300 people died, with all properties concerning Zakibiam, including the local government secretariat, the guest house. Everything about that town was brought to a complete rumble. It was burnt down and crushed down by the military, as directed by Obasanjo, the president, through T.Y. Danjuma, an affiliate or a brother of the Jukuns. Thief people were killed in their numbers. I remember one particular massive burial where they buried over 139 people in one pit. Right? But that wasn't enough. The killings continued. As I speak with you, if a thief man should cross the border of Ukari at the wrong hour in any bus, they will bring him out of the bus and butcher him like a pig and throw away. Killings have been going on in Ukari for over 15 years consistently. Nobody reports this in any media. Nobody talks about it. Only the thief people who are being killed and the people who are killing them know best. Jukun on one hand. The caliphate, on the other hand, deliberately sends cows to these people's farmlands to provoke them into attack. And when they react, what comes up next? Massive killings. Because they have found them vulnerable. Because the thief man has surrendered to religion and forgotten his powers. And so they kill him at will. They kill him anytime they feel like. And so, the whole land has been surrounded. So when the governor says it's a siege, true, it may be a siege. But the siege is not just about land grabbing. It's about elimination of the thief tribe. So that they take over their lands completely. And so that And they finally pay the price for all their provocations over the years. And it is because the thief man has become vulnerable. You know that till today the thief people have not been compensated for the losses from Obasanjo, for dead soldiers whose names were never published. Benue State has not been compensated. No one has said anything about the killings. It's normal to kill the thief man. It's normal. When these killings get to other parts of the country, noise will be heard. But like I said, the thief people have been killed repeatedly over the years. At Ukari, at Takum, at Donga, at Rafinkada, at Ibi, at other terrains within Taraba State, and even in Benue, in places like Logo local government completely, Ukum local government completely, Kwande local government, and Katsina, a few other territories that thief occupy there. It is from killing the thief people that expansion has moved towards the Idoma land in places like Otukpa, Otukpo, Oju, and those other places. Now, while we may be quick to talk about herders farmers clashes, in this instance, it is not just about herders and farmers. It's a planned genocide, and the earlier we arise to defend them, the weaker and the better for all of us. Because if we don't, then when they have succeeded in taking over thief land and eliminating the thief tribe, I don't know what tribe will be the next. It's all about territorial control. It's all about dominance. Personally, I even see the attacks on other regions of the country as an extension of the vision to dominate. So, the earlier we wake up and tell the Fulani man that enough is enough, the earlier we tell the Sokoto Caliphate that enough is enough, the earlier we arise to stop the genocide of the thief people, the better for all of us. And this message is to the governor of Benue State. I appreciate the fact that you've been up and doing, visiting locations where these attacks have been happening. But sir, the thief man needs defense. The thief man needs you to equip him for his defense. The thief man cannot keep running. But the thief man is helpless. He has no weapon to fight back. Remember your amnesty back then made them surrender even the little cutlasses and knives and other things they had in the name of amnesty. They are vulnerable. And the military is not made up entirely of the thief people. That's the first thing you must know. And the thief people will know how best to defend themselves. And so if the federal government has decided that the thief people should be eliminated, then you were voted by the thief people. You must protect them. And if the federal government will arise now to support you, to stop these nonsense killings, then please act as fast as possible. The military personnel with you and the other officers of the law are not meant to be helping you carry the dead bodies and telling us how many people have been killed. No, they are meant to protect those people. Let's have as many military officers on the streets as possible who are known Fulani and non-Joko, because those ones amongst them will still betray. And they will still turn against the thief. In 2001, I witnessed where the so-called military that was supposed to be for peacekeeping surrendered themselves to the Jukuns and were being used by the Jukuns to manipulate. The attacks on Zakiban were made up of both Jukun and the military. And I was only surprised that in 2019, Buratai was denying the involvement of military in the killing, the connivance of military with the Jukun people. When T.Y. Danjuma, who was the Minister of Defense and had every idea of what was happening, is talking, Buratai is denying. I don't understand. Do you know about that issue more than T.Y. Dajoma? But anyway, it's fine. All I want you to do, Mr. Governor, is to consider this not just a land grabbing siege, but a genocide against your people. Sir, you need to act as fast as possible, because the more you delay, the more these people are surrounded, and the more they will be killed, and the more they will be wiped out. The genocide is real. The TIV used to be amongst the top ranking in terms of population in Nigeria. I think we're about the fourth as rated by Wikipedia. But now we are moving down to sixth. They are killing us all, sir. You must act as fast as possible. Thank you.